I know this perfect little vacation spot. In fact, it falls within the coordinates of this sector.
How convenient. Except, number one, I have absolutely no intention of taking a holiday. Is that clear?
Very clear.
Good. I'm glad we got that straightened out. Resume.
The place is called Risa, and believe me, Captain, it is a paradise. Warm tropical breezes, exotic foods, nothing to do but sit around all day, enjoy the quiet, and then
The women.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fully Functional, a TNG podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yup.
Jeff and I are huge Star Trek nerds, and Dory is a Star Trek novice, and we are taking her on our first journey through Star Trek: The Next Generation. Today, we'll be discussing the Season 3 episode, Captain's Holiday. Original air date, March 31st, 1990. And as always, we'll take it to Dory for the recap.
Okay, so we start off in like a fancy spa, and we see two aliens with dinosaur heads.
Yeah, these aliens actually don't look that different from the aliens from the previous episode.
Yeah, because after I wrote dinosaur heads, I was like, I'm pretty sure I just called some other aliens dinosaurs. And they're wearing like these like brown jumpsuits with like holographic shapes or whatever. I don't know. It was an interesting design choice.
Very 90s.
Anyways, and they are looking for Picard at this spa, and this like voice is like, yeah, he's like not here. They're like, cool, we'll just wait. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
So now back on the Enterprise, they have departed from Gamaris 5. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Who cares?
Yeah.
Where Picard was mediating a trade dispute between like two groups that were like enormously stubborn and just being like assholes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And like yeah, Troy's like, it was a nightmare, they're stubborn. I'm like, can't relate. I'm the easiest person to get along with in the entire world. And nobody can say anything otherwise.
You'll never know.
No, I'm the fucking worst. No, I'm so stubborn. I'm the worst. Okay, so they're like, okay, let's set course for Starbase 12. And Riker's like, congratulations. Picard's like exhausted. He's like not really eating. He's like not really sleeping. And everybody's like, he needs a vacation. Will he take one? Not without some convincing, apparently. Mm-hmm. So even Dr. C is like, hey, Captain, there's like someone who's been doing all these symptoms that you have, but not saying it's you.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. He's like, I don't like vacations. And she's like, you don't like you like being on vacation. I was like, this is...
You don't like the process of going.
Also can't relate. As like a former travel agent, can't relate.
Yeah.
Love planning trips. So then they're like, okay, on like Starbase 12, like Picard's like, yeah, I'll like do all these recreational activities. But then he's like, or I could just like spend a few hours on the holodeck. It's like, Picard, even I know that sounds lame.
Yeah.
And that's coming from me who loves the holodeck. So then like Riker tells him about this place called Risa.
Yes.
They said it 1,000 times, and I was like, how do I need to remember that it's not. Yeah. Okay, so Risa, and it's like, it looks like some kind of spa, but like a horny spa, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the sex planet.
Yeah, this episode is the return of Horny Trek.
Yes. I mean,
Well, sort of.
last episode was horny. Fake horny. Disappointing horny.
Oh, yeah.
But or was it last episode? Whichever episode where it was Focard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Dr.
last
C.
episode.
So, yeah, Riker tells him about this place. There's, like, exotic food. And, of course, as they say in unison, women.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't know. And then Troy, brilliant genius that she is like, you know, when we get to, like, Starbase 12, my mom's going to meet us there. And she'll, like, hang out. And she's really looking forward to seeing you, Picard. And Picard's like, Riker, tell me more about this place. So, okay. So Picard then agrees to go to Risa, and he, like, first thing walks in. Oh, what?
Sorry, important detail. Riker asks Picard to get him a very specific, like, little statue thing to buy one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So like Picard walks in into like a really hot woman who's like trying to get away from a Ferengi, and then like she kisses him, and then the aliens, the dinosaur aliens from earlier are there. And then okay, we do like a cut that is truly of the 90s where the camera just pans across this woman in a bikini, just her body. Up until like then it goes to then also they have like the funny, I laughed so hard. This is probably not funny, but like so the staff all seem to be wearing like orange bikini bottoms with like these ties that like go up the middle of their chest and like maybe around their neck, and basically and then like transparent vests. So after they do the like the pan of this woman's body, one of the like female staff members walks by and basically like her boob goes right into the camera. I just like that was very funny. Probably not meant to be, but I thought that was funny. So, oh yeah. I was laughing at a lot of stupid shit in this.
Yeah.
So some people like run by, somehow they're wet and like gets water or whatever on Picard's book, and he's like upset about it. And then like a pokeball, like a flying pokeball appears. And this woman named Joval, she's like shows up, and turns out like all these people do, all the staff does, because Picard says the fifth person to ask. They all are like, hey, what can we do to make like your vacation with us more of a pleasure? And he's like, I'm good, just let me fucking sit in the sun, let me read my stupid book, and let me sit in my tiny silver shorts.
Yeah Picard is wearing the tiniest like Speedo thing.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I see you have this like the thing that Riker's souvenir.
Yeah.
It's called the
Horgon.
What? Horgon.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, it's a symbol of sexuality. And basically it's almost like I'd say a beacon to fuck, if you will.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like basically
guess.
if you display the Horgon, you're DTF.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
So Picard is
seeking Jamaharon, as it's called.
Oh, yeah, yes. So Picard is like, oh, absolutely not, and just like puts it under his towel.
Yeah.
Very, so funny.
It's basically Riker tricked him into buying this so that he'd get laid.
Yeah. So then, okay, so then we have like, then we meet Vosh, who is like,
Well, we meet her.
the lady.
Yeah.
Yes, we formally meet her. She's the lady who kissed Picard when he first arrived at Risa. She's wearing a pink, like, gauzy robe and a black bathing suit with cutouts. It looks great. Then we meet Sovak, who's the Ferengi, and, like, also, okay, side note, it's so jarring to hear random strangers to us, I guess, calling Picard Jean-Luc.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little like weird because like I'm used to Beverly, but like this person, like Vosh is a stranger, and she's like, hey, Jean-Luc, and I'm like,
Well, I mean,
I don't hate it, but it just feels weird just because like we don't know you. I guess it's the same thing, like somebody walking, like a stranger walking up to me and using my first, well, no, I guess my middle name. I won't say my middle name, but it's, I don't know. There's just,
Yeah.
it just, I don't know. It's just she's a stranger, so it's just like weird because everybody else calls him Picard.
Yeah,
And-
but that's like in a formal setting. This is like, she's not part of like, the hierarchy and stuff of
Yeah.
Starfleet. So he's
Yeah.
just like, it's just person to person. So typically you call another person like
By their first
by their
names.
first name.
And I mean, like, I like Vosh. I think she's a good time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So then Picard goes to his room,
Yeah.
and the like two aliens who we learn are Vorgons named Azure and Baratus.
look, nobody remembers their
fr-
names.
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote it down. I write down everybody's names, so I can pronounce it wrong later. So they're like 300 years in the past, and they're like because Picard has to discover this thing called the Tox Utat.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yes, first try. And it's okay. I'm gonna have to read the description ish for this because I'm not gonna remember it. So basically, a legend of a visitor from the future who left behind a mysterious device known as the Tox Utat, invented by scientist Caldano, who was a... Oh, so Cal, like, fled to the 22nd century where he hid the thing. It's basically a quantum phase inhibitor capable of halting all nuclear reaction within a star.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care.
Okay, so
It's a thing.
basically, so to explain that a little bit, basically what it does is, I think a lot of the words are mostly gibberish, but
Yeah, they are.
what it actually does, what they're saying it does, is that it basically turns off a star. So, like, the reason, like, the sun and stars, like, are bright and stuff is because they have, a nuclear fusion reaction in them. So it's putting together hydrogen molecules and making them into helium. So
Okay,
like,
so then I did write, is this a weapon? So I guess it can.
yeah, it
Yes, it can.
basically destroys a star. So it like it turns it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Which would be
okay, so
very
then-
bad.
Yes.
So this is extremely dangerous, this thing.
Yeah. Okay, so then, like, Azure and Bradis were the security team, and they're, like, here to retrieve it because Picard, according to legend, like, finds it or something. He finds an object of unknown origin while vacationing in Riza.
Riza.
Whatever. Riza. See, I knew I was going to fuck that up at some point. Yeah, he's just like, again, and when Picard finds it, he's going to return it to them. He's like, okay, whatever. So he goes to see Vosh, whose room has been fucking trashed by Sovok because, like, he wants this disc thing. Oh, yeah, there was a disc thing that she, like, put in his pocket. It's got, like, the research notes because Vosh was like, an assistant to this professor. And Professor Samuel Estragon? Did I fuck that up, too?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Professor Estrogen.
Yeah. So we'll just call him the professor. So, and she was like his assistant for like 5 years. So she like learned all of, I guess he was like the expert on the UTAT, whatever. And all of his research and shit was like on this disc. So she wanted to like use it. He died. Oh yeah, he's dead. And and so she's like, I worked for him for 5 years. I like deserve to like go do this shit. I want it because I'm gonna then present it to Daystrom. And it's like, okay, I already have issues because Daystrom's the place that wanted to take Data's daughter, right?
It was an admiral. He wanted to bring her to the Daystrom Institute, but it wasn't
Yeah,
really
so
it wasn't the institute saying that.
Still, I have now like bad associations with this institute. So I was like, I hope you make some money, but she did want to make money off of it. Anyways, so like Sovak, she knows him because like he did some like sketchy shit for the professor, but then as it turns out, he also hired, or I guess he paid Bosch to like get the disc, but then he paid her and then she pieced out with the disc to Riza because she wanted to find it herself. Oh yeah, Picard's like, well, Sovak's after you, so like I'll go in your place. And she's like, or we could like go together and whatever. So then they wear the most Indiana Jones clothes you could possibly come up with.
Yeah.
But Picard with his signature, I've realized Picard's got two necklines he fucking loves.
Yeah.
He loves a cowl neck and he loves a wrap top.
Yep.
So-
he
and we get-
loves a deep V.
Yes.
He loves the like the chest showing. He loves like a little, I was gonna say a little dash. That's not a dash. That's like a handful of just like.
Yeah.
He likes the chest hair to breathe.
I was gonna say though, it's not. It wasn't Indiana Jones to me. My first thought was that she's Tomb Raider, and I'm just like, I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Well, okay, like
mean-
it's when you think of like someone going on an archaeology adventure, it's whatever outfit you're picturing, it's that.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a white cream top with like some beige pants
Yeah.
and boots. It's the law. If you're an archaeologist, that's what you have to wear. That's the uniform.
Yeah.
The second, and when you get your diploma to be like an archaeologist, they also give you clothes. They also give you like
Yeah.
just folded up like button down white shirt or like a cream shirt that's like in a light, like a linen or something, so it's breathable.
Yeah.
And then some like, cargo / khakis. It's the law. That just would be so funny. Just like people giving people clothes associated with their profession.
Yeah.
That's not even a uniform. Anyways, okay, so they're trying to like go sneak off to go find the Utah, and but then Sovak like shows up and he puts a phaser at Picard, and then Vosh like throws her backpack at him, and so Picard can like get the gun. And then Picard just like casually, Picard punches Sovak in the face.
Yeah.
It's so wild. And then he like casually throws the gun, and then they like run off to like go search for stuff.
Yeah, he throws the gun away. Why? I don't know. Like, that's useful to have on you, dude.
Yeah. So, okay, then they end up in like a cave, and they're like, I guess we should call it a day here. And I'm like, okay, a cave. That's classic. And they're like talking and being flirty or whatever, and they argue about like, oh wait, that's a bit later. Okay, so then I think that Vosh must get her bedding at the same place that Troy does, because the blankets that Vosh had were like sparkly brown, and Troy's is blue. So
that's what bedding looks like in the future.
Yeah, apparently.
That's
apparently sleeping bags aren't sparkle. A thing. It's just straight up
just
bedding.
Blankets.
Yeah.
Just blankets.
Yeah.
One blanket to lie on and one blanket to cover yourself, but only partially, because Picard will take half of it.
Yeah. And like actual pillows too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Pillows.
Yeah.
Where were they storing this? I don't know.
Then they have like a flirty argument over whether or not they're getting along, which leads them to make out, and then we leave them in their romantic times.
Yes, it's left to our imagination how much sex they're having.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, so now it's the next day, and cut to a like really weird looking mountain, I guess, like an exterior of like, it kind of look like it's a Play-Doh mountain. I don't know. And then they go into this other cave, and they're finding this like, she's got this detector, and she's like, okay, it's here. And the Picard goes to like pull something, and he's like, okay, we're gonna have to use this. And I was like, what the fuck is he grabbing? A shovel. Oh my god. I didn't even realize it was a shovel for like a good second. I was like, oh my god, what is he pulling out? A shovel. And then he gives her a shovel.
Well, it's also like the weirdest fucking looking shovel ever.
Yeah, because you have to like put it together. Yeah. So then they start like shoveling, and they're digging, and they can't find it. Then like the Vorgons show up, and they're like, hey, what's happening? You got the thing yet? And they're like, no, we don't. What the fuck? And they're like, cool, we're like not gonna help, we're just gonna stare at you and watch.
Yeah.
And then Sovak shows up, and he's like, haha, I found you, now I get the thing. And they're like, then Picard's like, how did you find us? And he's like, I found the disc. And she's like, I burned it. And he's like, yeah, you did a shitty job, I was able to like use it.
Owned.
Oh yeah, then they're like, yeah, I think we're like done. Sovak, you can like dig now. So
oh yeah, he forces them to continue digging for the thing, and then like hours later they're like, it's not here, blah blah blah. Yeah.
And that point, so Picard has taken off his like outer shirt, so now he's in a cowl neck tank top, in which I wrote in my notes, pretty sure I had one of those in the early 2000s.
Nice.
Picard ahead of his time, because this is the 90s.
Yeah, Picard, he didn't know how much a cowl neck was going to make an impression on young me. And even to this day, I do love a cowl neck. It is classy. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now they're like, so then Vosh and Picard go back to the spa, and Vosh is like, I need to be alone. And I was like, that's suspicious. That's just like, that seems sketchy. So then Riker calls, and he's like, hey, we're like finished the rotation and shit, and we're like ready to party if you want to like leave. And Picard's like, okay, you need to like, when I say so, I give the signal, you have to initiate transporter code 14. And then I just wrote, somebody let O'Brien know. He's got one job. It's time to do it. So then like Picard then like goes back into the hall, and we see Vosh, who's like leaving. And oh my god, she looks so nice. Sorry, she's like so pretty, and she gets like some good outfits. So she's wearing this like one sleeve, like gauzy sheer like arm, but like pink, and there's like weird, I don't know, like sparkly jewels. I don't know. It's just nice. It's interesting. It's
She is very beautiful.
early. She's so pretty. It's also like very also weirdly ahead of its time because that's very like early 2000s to me. So he's like, oh hey, Picard is like, oh hey, like you seem to like be leaving, and she's like, oh, well, and then he's like, haha, I think you had the UChat the whole time. I think when you got here, you found it. And this was like a whole ruse to like distract Sovak so he'll keep looking for it. And I think you half-assed burned the disc on purpose. And then she's like, surprise, it's in the sex souvenir. What's it called again?
A Horgon.
Horgon. I think that's what it was. She like opens it and then there's this like white like crystal thing that's like size up like a fist or something, and Picard's like, oh, let's like look at it. And then the Vorgons appear and they're like, let's like give it to me. And then Vosh is like, wait, what? Like in the from like the research, 2 Vorgons come back in time, a male and a female, to steal it. And Picard's like, yeah, this seems all about right at this point.
Yeah.
So then Picard's like, can you like prove shit? Because at this point Picard's like kind of been over it, but also like doesn't seem to like not believe the Vorgons until Vosh is like, yeah, according to my research, this is like sketchy.
Yeah.
So they obviously like can't. And so then everybody's trying to like go for it. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. They phaser Vosh and like with like blue light or whatever. And then Picard is like, okay, time for transporter code 14. And so he's like, give me 2-second delay and then do the thing at my location. So that this location, he puts the UTAT and like boom, tiny explosion, it explodes, it's gone forever. And surprise, Picard found it but also destroyed it. That's the legend or whatever. The Vargons leave and then like Vosh is like, hey, you got any room for an archaeologist on the Enterprise? And he's like, lols, no. I don't think you'd be a good fit for the Enterprise. I do hope, I kind of would not be opposed to seeing Vosh again. She was fun. Yeah, then she's like, okay, well, then I'm going to find somewhere else to go that's like super hostile and bad for like, people who are not like native to the land. And he's like, I'm concerned. And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
So then Picard's like, okay. So he comes back to the ship and Picard's like, Riker, the fuck?
Yeah.
And then, then Troy was like, like relaxing trip. And Picard's like, yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Whatever. And yeah, then they like go somewhere. So yeah, this was an interesting episode.
Yeah.
It was like silly, but like, like there was so much stuff. There was like, but at the same time, none of it mattered.
Yeah. Like this episode is a total throwaway.
Yeah. I kind of thought there would be like some kind of repercussion of this actual like, I don't know. I thought we'd get like a taste of the danger of this thing, but it's like, no.
It's just important.
We're just gonna tell you how dangerous it is, and then like you can find it, and like we'll see what happens. But also the weird twist of like, oh, maybe the Vargons are like actually there to steal it, and then twist, Picard like the history says he destroys it, doesn't find it. It's like, wait, why? What? I mean, it truly.
Apparently, also, there was another scene that was cut. I don't know if they ever actually filmed it, but it was going to show the Vorgons appearing again afterwards in order to reveal that, oh, they were actually fooling them all along, and they are here to try to steal it. And it's just like, they cut it because they're like, okay, this is actually getting too confusing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was already kind of stupid, but,
yes,
I was along for the ride. I enjoy Picard doing random shit. Although, I don't know. To me, it kind of felt like his punching Sovak was, like, kind of out of character.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just was, like, a bizarre choice.
Yeah. Jeff, I think you can probably confirm this for me, but I feel like I remember that the whole deal with this episode was that Patrick Stewart wanted to do more like adventure stuff.
That's exactly what it was.
Oh,
He quite literally said he wanted some sex and shooting. And so they ended up writing this. Hilariously though, Maggie, you will recognize this. This was Ira Stephen Bear's first solo script.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And it's weird because like it's definitely not
it's not his style.
Well, not only is it not his style, but I think that if he had never written anything else for Star Trek, he would have gone down as just a completely forgettable writer for the series.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's his fault that Risa exists. So there we are.
That's fine.
The time travel stuff was apparently added at a later stage, as a way to kind of like make the episode more sci-fi-ish. But also, this is the first appearance of... No, actually, this might be the second appearance. I don't remember if we've seen him as one before. Max Grodenchik is playing the...
I was going to ask if that was him.
Yes, it is. It's weird because he's playing the character really weirdly in this episode. Like, I would actually argue that this episode does absolutely nothing to redeem the Ferengi in any way whatsoever. In fact, it kind of makes them worse.
Yeah, it was a teeth-heavy episode.
Yeah, the way he's squinting throughout the whole episode is really uncomfortable, too.
Yeah, because it looks like a stereotypical, like, Asian makeup, like, you know...
Yeah, and
What's his face in Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Oh, Mickey Rooney?
Yeah, Mickey Rooney.
I do not like it.
I think a part of it is, because I was noticing that, too, I think part of it is, like, just an unfortunate... happenstance, because especially in that confrontation when they're about to leave to go to the caves or whatever, I think he just had like a lot of like sun in his eye. Like I think he's just squinting because it's so fucking bright.
Honestly, what I think it actually is that the way that Max Grodenchik has played Ferengi up until this point, and afterwards, because he does play, I think, a background one in an earlier episode. But he just kind of has those eyes, and I have a feeling that the way that he wanted to express the character more is through his eyes, but just the way that he chose it is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because, like, Rom is fantastic. Rom's first appearance is just kind of a dumber version of this character. So, I don't know.
True.
We'll get to that sort of stuff much later, obviously. Well, we hope. But
here's a question. How do the Ferengi sleep? Because that back of the head situation,
very uncomfortably.
They're not sleeping on they're not sleeping on their backs. I'll tell you that.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, honestly, we got like a good view of like the back of Sovok's head, and that's all I could think about was like, how does this guy sleep?
Maybe he doesn't.
They like recharge, like
yeah, precisely.
Plug themselves into something. They sit upright, or they lie on their faces.
They charge like the Borg.
Oh God! Oh boy! I just thought it was really funny, like that he was like, "Oh, Vosh is terrible. She's greedy. She's whatever, but I like her." Like, cool. So Sovok is horny also.
I must have her.
I could have done without that.
Yeah, it was quite uncomfortable.
Yeah. You know, what's funny thing is, like, I didn't dislike this episode. It's just, like, what the fuck was this episode?
Yeah.
Like, it was still enjoyable, but also, what?
The episode is kind of a nothing.
Yeah. It doesn't really do anything.
No. And there isn't much of a purpose to it besides to... Okay, well, let's be perfectly fair here. The way that Star Trek and television in general is written in this period is episodic. We just need to push an episode out there. Is this going to be an interesting one? Who knows? We have a budget to keep making the show to get all of us paid to make money. That's it.
Yeah.
Party.
Yep.
I do love how, like, when he first gets there, like, Picard just can't... You just can't find a moment of peace. It's very funny.
Yeah.
That entire scene with him sitting there and getting constant interruptions is extremely amusing.
And I have to say, I think I disagree a little bit with Dr. Crusher in this, because she keeps telling him, like, she's trying to get him to have her idea of a vacation. And he's like, oh, there's this conference I was interested in. And she's like, conference? Like, that's not a vacation. And it's like, it is to some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm someone who, like, I'm not I will sit on my ass at work for 8.5 hours a day. But if I'm on vacation, there will be, I am not lounging. Like I'm not at like I like the beach, but I'm not a lounge on the beach for a week person. So like, I want to be busy. I want to go see sites. I want to go to all the museums, all the galleries, all the old ass buildings, you know, because I'm a nerd. I once spent 7.5 hours in one museum, and I've spent a total of 9.5 in a different one. The 7.5 was in one go, by the way. The 9.5 were 2 different days. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
That's the kind of person I am. I spent a lot of time in museums.
Dude, I fucking love museums.
I love old shit.
Yeah.
I like history.
Yeah, and the thing is like, this is coming because I am a sort of lounge person. Like, not necessarily the beach, but like, basically my vacation is like, okay, where can I watch TV and eat food in a different place? And then I'll do museums, because I love museums and art galleries and that kind of thing. But I'm not one for like adventures and stuff like that. But
Ooh,
I
love an adventure.
Yeah, it's very clear Picard is, though.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll go on a trip with Picard.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of forcing Picard to like take a vacation, like your idea of a vacation.
Oh, you know what I just thought of? I don't think me and Picard would actually vacation well together.
Oh, no?
Because I was just thinking, I feel like, okay, I went to Machu Picchu like 5 years ago, and I feel like Picard would have wanted to do the like hike. He wanted to do the Incan Trail.
Yeah.
And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not.
Yeah.
We took a train and then a bus to get up to the ruins. So like, I want to go see that shit, but I'm not hiking. Don't
Yeah.
make me fucking climb up, like upwards or like on an incline. Don't make me climb a fucking hill.
No thanks.
Yeah. Give me flat, although I fucking hate cobblestone. That ground is an absolute fucking nightmare to walk on.
Oh, yeah.
But
Cobblestone.
give me yeah.
Broken ankles all over the place.
Oh boy, yeah. But yeah, I'm adventurous, but I don't want to fucking hike. I'm
Yeah.
not a hiker. Don't make me hike anywhere. I will walk. I'm very happy to walk to places. I'm a big walker, but yeah, when somebody's like, okay, we're going uphill, I'm questioning all my life choices that have led to this moment.
So if you don't like hills, do not go to Europe. It's just all fucking hills.
Too late.
Yeah.
Me and a friend of mine, when we were in Prague, we didn't know there was like a not a trolley, I don't know, some kind of like vehicle that went to the top of this hill, and we were like, what if we just climb it, because we don't know there's any other way.
Yeah.
Oh my god, thought I was gonna fucking die by the time we like got to the top, and then we realized, oh, there's like a whole thing just like right around the corner that we could have just gone up, and we were like, cool. So I'm sweating like crazy. And look like somebody threw water on me. And there was something that I could have just sat on that would have gone up this hill.
That sucks, man. That's why, okay,
Yeah.
my favorite thing is trains, because it combines my 2 favorite things, sitting and looking at stuff.
That's very fair. A train
Yeah.
is a good time.
Yeah. Oh, what was I gonna say to do with that? Oh, yeah, Jeff and I were in Banff, actually, like, just before the pandemic hit.
Literally like a week before.
Yeah. At least before it hit in Canada really hard.
Yeah.
So we were going up like we went up to one of the mountains that's there. There's like this lift that like takes you up. And I noticed that there was also a trail that goes up the mountain. So you can take the lift up or you can go up the trail. And I'm like, who the fuck chooses the trail? Who goes up a fucking mountain?
That was the same thing when I was in Vancouver. We like went up the lift to like Grouse Mountain, and when we were in there, they were doing like I don't know, some kind of explanation. They're like, below us, there's this path where you can run up it. And I was like, why?
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah, hard pass. I'd rather just like enjoy this. And then we got to the top, we walked around, got to see a couple of bears.
Yeah.
They were like in a thing. They weren't just like rogue bears on this mountain.
Jeff and I saw a bear made of mirrors.
We did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh, what sucked is that we went at a specific time so that we could like see the sunset, but it was fucking overcast.
That sucks.
It was still cool though. We had dinner at like the mountaintop restaurant and shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh God, I miss traveling.
Yeah.
One day. I mean, I know people are already doing it, but
Yeah.
still, like, yeah, some people are, having a great time all over the world right now. And what pandemic? Super chill. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping at some point this year.
Yeah.
I'm hoping like summer, fall. I don't know. I just really want to get on an airplane.
Yeah.
I don't like airplanes, but I do love an airport. I don't know why. Nobody questioned me about this because I don't have a good explanation.
Yeah, I actually do kind of like the airport, honestly.
Yeah, I mentioned this to my boss recently, and he goes, "That's crazy." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like the airport.
As long as you're there with enough time, it's great, honestly.
Yeah, I guess.
Like if you're not rushing.
Maybe it's not like I have no. Maybe the reason is because like I don't get to travel a lot, so being at the airport is like means I'm going on a trip.
Yeah.
So like I get there super early because I'm super paranoid about missing a plane, and then you check your bags, and then you like wander around, get some random too expensive food to like have a snack, but then also get a bunch of snacks to take on the plane with you. And then just like sit at some charging port with your phone that's already at 100% for like an hour and a half until you get on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Although when Jeff and I were flying to Vancouver, because that vacation we went to Vancouver for a couple days and then we went to Banff. That sucked because our plane got delayed like a million times on the way there.
Oh, that's rough.
Jeff, do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Oh yeah, it's like our flight was supposed to leave at like fucking 7 or some shit. We got there really early and tired, and like we didn't leave till like 10 or something.
Yeah, that was pretty irritating.
Actually, no, sorry, it was even later than that. It was like what?
Yeah, it was in the afternoon.
Yeah, I don't remember, but our flight was in the morning and we didn't leave till the afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of similar. Look, in October of 2019, I was in London and our flight was canceled because we were supposed to go Toronto to Dublin to, what am I talking about? London, Dublin, Toronto. And there was like weather between England and Ireland.
Yeah.
There's usually weather, yes.
So they canceled our flight, and our flight was supposed to be at like 7 or 6:30, something like that, really, really early in the morning. But they were like, guess what? We have no other flights that'll go from Dublin to Toronto till tomorrow. So we're going to put you on a different airline and have you switch airports.
Oh, great.
So we had to go from Gatwick, take a bus. They gave us vouchers from Gatwick to Heathrow to the British Airways terminal. And then then we were there for like our flight didn't leave till like 4:30, so we were literally there the whole day, but like we were up super early because we had to get to the airport, and so like I didn't sleep the whole day, and I was like falling asleep fucking everywhere, like almost smashed. Like we were sitting at this Starbucks area, and I was falling asleep with like my head in my arms, and then like my chin like slipped, and I like hit my I almost hit my like head on the table, but I had my purse underneath, so it just like went into my purse. and then just
Oh,
sat back
man.
up because I was like, holy shit, just of like that, that drop, I guess, you're not
Yeah,
expecting. But yeah, delayed flights fucking suck. But at this point, honestly, I could do with a delayed flight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't love it. I'd be frustrated. But at this point, just to like be on an airplane.
Yeah.
I'll even go out of Billy Bishop. Ugh. I'll even go there. Ugh. Yeah.
At least on our flight home, they forgot to charge us for the food that we got. So that was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Because we hadn't planned on eating on the plane, but I was just like so hungry. And it was like, we had like a late night flight.
Yes.
So I'm just like, fuck, I'll get like the shitty mac and cheese or whatever.
Ooh, mac and cheese.
Yeah. It wasn't half bad,
That's
actually.
awesome.
I'd love to
Nice.
taste some of that food on the ground, because when you're that high up, your taste buds are less sensitive.
Yeah. That's why it's like very hard to make airplane food taste good, because
Yep.
it literally, like, the altitude alters your sense of taste.
Yeah.
Okay, but on British Airways, holy fucking shit. They gave us like curry. It was fantastic. They gave us ice cream bars with like the chocolate, like you could crack on the outside, and then like vanilla with like the stick. I was like, I'm sorry, like where are we? Like it was.
Were they like the Magnum bars that had like the layer of caramel in between?
No. Where I wasn't in first class.
So it's probably like a Haagen-Dazs or whatever.
Yeah, it was very good though. I mean, yeah, it was a good time. That was quite a fun flight. I watched the entire series of Chernobyl next to a child. Do I regret that? No. Fortunately, the kid was asleep for a lot of it, but I didn't like consciously think about that there was a child next to me when I started watching Chernobyl. And like people's faces are melting off. And I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I really, really want to travel again. Because, like, that vacation that Jeff and I took was originally supposed to be, like, the train across Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there was a group of Indigenous people protesting. And, like, there's a long history with, like, Indigenous people in Canada and, like, trains and railways and stuff. It's too much to get into, but it was a thing I fully supported. But as a result, the trains got shut down. So, and it was like right when when we were supposed to go. So we had to like last minute change our plans, but I still really want to do that trip.
Yeah, that would be really, really fun. Just to do like a long train ride. I kind of picture it like, it's like a cruise. Do they stop on these things? I would hope so.
They do,
It's
yeah.
like a cruise, but like I'm not here for a cruise. I don't think. Big water makes me nervous. Which is weird because I'm actually a very good swimmer, but I don't know. I just when you are a child and have a weird fascination with Titanic,
Yeah.
not the movie, the event, then like water, big oceans are like problematic.
It is very existentially terrifying.
Yeah. Also, I've seen like Poseidon and Poseidon Adventure. Why? I don't know. I knew what they were both about, and I was like, what if I watch these movies that are only going to make my fear worse?
All right, I think we've gone on sidetrack quarter for a while, so I think we've probably explored everything
yeah.
from this episode, unless someone
I would
has...
say we've exhausted everything from this episode, because there really isn't much there.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
like
I've got
it's fun, it's a decent time, but there's not much to say about it.
Yeah, I generally skip it.
I've got like favorite quotes and stuff and favorite parts, but other than that, like I don't have much to discuss.
Yeah. So I was going to suggest that we just move on to that portion with favorite parts and lines and things of that nature.
Okay. Yes. So in chronological order. So when Picard there's some good lines in this. Silly lines. I find stupid things funny. So when Picard and Troy come back on the ship from their negotiating or mediating, Riker goes, "Sir, congratulations." And Picard goes, "About what?" And Riker goes, "About the trade agreement." And Picard just goes, "Eh."
Yeah.
Bah, humbug.
I like when Joval, who is the lady who was like the employee at Ryza, who noticed the what's it called? My God, why can't I
Horgon.
fucking remember? Horgon. So yeah, she said, okay, to own one is to call forth its powers. To display it is to announce you are seeking Jamaharon.
Jamaharon.
Okay. And then Picard just goes, Riker. Trot goes, do you speak Jamaharon? Whatever. Do you speak that?
Jamaharon.
Okay. I don't think we say it again after that.
Yeah.
So yes, that. And then Picard goes, I don't even know what it means. The Horgon is for a friend. And then Javal goes, I see. Someone close to you. Picard goes, that's right. And then Javal goes, someone you love. And then Picard goes, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, yeah, I definitely.
I love that. That was so fucking funny. And then, this I like. This was Picard. So Picard says this to Vosh. He's like, from the moment I met you, I knew you were going to be trouble. And then Vosh goes, you look like a man who could handle trouble.
How did the two of them deliver those lines without, like, cracking up?
Yeah, I'm
loved
sure
it
they
so
did.
much. It was so funny. And then Picard okay, so then like they're trying to leave the resort to like go search for the thing, and Picard and Sovak is like holding them hostage, and then Picard goes, you're becoming quite annoying, Sovak. And Sovak goes, as are you, human. I don't know why I find that funny. Yeah, I guess those are like my favorite lines. I enjoy Picard's frustration of just wanting to like read in his Speedo. And yeah, Vosh was fun. I like that Picard got to, I guess, be adventure-y. That's fun. I like archaeology, so like, I mean, I don't know if this is not like
Very
I don't wanna say not
archaeology
the-
heavy.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a silly episode. Yeah, still fun. Oh, also fucking loved that Troy was like, my mom's thinking about is
Yes.
gonna come meet us and get on the ship. Picard was like, oh shit, okay, Riker, tell me more.
That was so funny. When
So good.
yeah, it's very clear like Picard doesn't want to go, and she's like, my mom's gonna be there.
And then I think when Picard walks away, like Troy does like a yes, but like quiet,
Yeah.
like silently, just like says it, like mouths it. I love that. That was so good.
Yeah, like Picard saw through what she was doing, but like when he's talking to Riker in his ready room, he's just like, ugh, everyone's gonna fucking annoy me until I go on vacation, aren't they? He's like, yep. Yeah, I think my favorite bit was also like him just being frustrated that he can't just freaking read his book. And I think my other favorite part is his adventuring shirt.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh his wardrobe for this episode.
Yeah.
His cowl neck shirts and his wrap tops.
Because they just
fantastic.
like, one thing I find really attractive on men is when they just look comfortable and relaxed. So like it's just that like nice loose deep V, and it's just very like he's unbothered by it, like he's not trying to show off, but he is like,
It's
I don't know.
casual chest hair.
yeah, it's very casual. It's like when a guy has just that one extra button undone on his shirt. Ugh, perfect.
I think there actually aren't a lot of moments in terms of dialogue that really do it for me. Just because the ones that are there are really cringy. Like there's that fucking moment where in the teaser, Troy's like, our captain needs a vacation, and like there's a musical sting immediately afterwards, and I'm just like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, in that intro part, that the acting was really awkward.
Yes, it definitely was. But honestly, when Troy delivers the quote-unquote news that may just be her making shit up, that they'll be meeting her mom at the starbase, after Picard and Riker get up, there's a split second where she does like a yes motion, and it's a really, really funny.
Yeah.
I ended up doing a double take and rewinding it just to see that. But yeah, that's the moment for me, because that's almost something that wasn't really meant to be paid attention to, because it's so quick. It's like 1 second.
Yeah, I kind of forgot how much of this episode... I mean, it's not that much, but it's more than I remember of them just trying to convince him to go on vacation in the first place.
Yeah, it's like the first quarter of the episode.
Yeah. All right, so with that, we should move on to predictions for the next episode. So,
Party.
Dory, the next episode is called Tin Man.
Okay.
Yeah, and that name really doesn't have anything to do with the episode. At least
So
not
it's
not that I can think of.
It's not Wizard of Oz themed.
No. So, full disclosure, Jeff and I couldn't think of a funny or clever thing for this, so we're just gonna read the little blurb on Memory Alpha. The synopsis. So, your little clue is, the Enterprise races against Romulans to make first contact with a powerful entity codenamed Tin Man.
Okay, well, I'm gonna maybe stick with like kind of Wizard of Oz imagery-ish in the sense that like, because like Tin Man is like in Wizard of Oz is like he doesn't have a heart. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, this is such a bringing things together. There was an episode where somebody sang "If I Only Had a Heart or a Brain." I think it was Ira. I think it was that piece of shit Ira.
That's right, it was Ira.
I think because he sang the wrong bit, and I remember getting mad.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe this...
Maybe it's the return of Ira.
Oh, God. That would be the fucking worst.
It's
to know
not,
him
it's
was
not.
to love him.
Yeah.
In my case, to know him was to fucking hate him. Okay. Oh, this is hard. It just make the entire prediction Wizard of Oz based. So they, you know what? Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
So the Romulans and the Enterprise are racing down the yellow brick road.
An area of space they refer to as the Yellow Brick Road.
And then, okay, so Tin Man, what could be... Okay, maybe it's something that, like... Wait, it's an entity? So is it like a living thing? Or is it like a...
Well, we don't know.
I don't remember what the description. Okay, because I'm thinking maybe it's something that, like, needs a certain kind of, like... it's sort of a vessel. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the Tin Man.
Yeah.
And then, like, maybe it needs something specific, like its version of, like, a heart to run. And if it runs, it's, like, really important or, like, is really, like, a huge asset. Mm-hmm. So maybe, like, both the Romulans and the Enterprise have this thing, because maybe it's not, like, the hardest thing to get. Mm-hmm. But it's just maybe something it's science-y, but, like, they both have the thing and both sides want it. Like, Enterprise wants it for, like, Starfleet or whatever. And the Romulans want it for lols. I don't know. And so, yeah. So they're going up. They have this stuff. They're racing for it. And because whoever gets to it gets to keep it. And it's like a huge technological advancement or something. Yeah. Is that enough?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I don't really have much. I can try to think of more.
Yeah.
Picard wears a Dorothy wig. It's like there's a musical. They all sing. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. That's all I got.
It's a difficult episode to do predictions on. Like, it's. Yeah, when you watch it, you'll figure out, like, it's hard to describe.
Okay.
All right, so
Be a fun one to recap next time then.
Yeah. I think this episode, like, it's not a bad episode. It's just I wouldn't know how to tell you about it without spoiling anything. Or, yeah. Anyway, I'm getting too lost in my own thought. Anyway, if you'd like to see if Dory's correct, watch along with us and join us for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.